High School, and I'm one of the organizers of this climate strike.
Woo!
Thank you all so much for being here. Especially thank you to the youth. I know well that skipping school isn't always easy to do. I know we all had tests to study for, or labs to miss, or some other reason why today wasn't an ideal time to walk out of class. And I'm sure all of you got the question from teachers, or parents, or siblings, or friends. Why is this more important than school? I got this question. I got this question yesterday. Honestly, I've asked myself this question a couple times this week. We're told to go to school so we can prepare for our futures. And I care about my future. I know you do too. But what kind of future am I supposed to prepare for? When most of climate action globally continues to be too little, too late, the concept of the world I am readying myself for becomes more and more terrifying. Around the world, people are already dying from the effects of the climate crisis. The lives of many have been irreparably altered. There is so much wrong and so little time to fix it. I'm not sure what my future will look like, or even if I will have one at all. I think about my little brother, my younger cousins. If I am scared for my future, I am more scared for theirs. What will their world look like by the time we finally get there? It's so easy to consider all of this and feel hopeless. It's so easy to decide that there is nothing to be done. It's so easy to give up and pretend the problem doesn't exist. But we're here, all of us, here in Olympia and here across the world, standing up for our right to exist without fear, for our right to have a future.
Woo!
But if we're afraid, we can also hope. And this is how we're doing it. The decision makers see us. The world is watching. So let's keep hoping and let's keep standing up for ourselves in this planet. Let's keep making noise until they can no longer ignore it.
Woo!
So yes, I do believe that this is more important than one day of school. Because in order to prepare for our futures, we have to have a future first. Thank you.
Woo!
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Rader.
Woo!
Thank you all for being here today.
Woo!
People sometimes tell me the work I do is inspiring. Both my peers and adults will ask me how I do it, what drives me. This catches me off guard. There are romantic answers I could give them. I could tell them I've loved the outdoors since I was young, that every summer my parents and I hike the wagon wheel trail in the Olympic forest. I could say I feel a deep-rooted connection to the earth and that I am powered by my passionate love for all things green. The truth is that I am driven by a sense of obligation. I see the work we do as something that is our duty. Sometimes it is burdensome, and sometimes it gives me pride. Sometimes it makes me feel guilty, and sometimes it gives me joy. But through and through, I am pulled forward by something that is much bigger than my personal intentions. Climate action is not a choice, it is a necessity. It's a responsibility every human has to uphold.
Woo!
This is one of the great strengths I see in the youth movement against climate change. We can see, painfully clearly, how our lives and futures will be shaped by the changing world. Our devotion is charged by an urgency we were born with. This climate angst comes naturally to us.
Yeah.
This is not our only strength. No, there are much less ominous skills we possess. We bring new ideas. We find new ways to solve problems. As dependents, our networks are vast. We are raised by a community and we have influence in that community. We are creative and we are resilient. We will be the adults making decisions when we come of age. When we embrace our youthfulness, we gain these strengths and we have the opportunity to create change with these strengths. There is specific power in our voices. I don't think many of us fully understand this, however. A lack of confidence poses a bold threat to the power of youth voices. As youth, we are taught to ask for permission. Well into college, we are trained to be quiet while the adult is speaking. While perhaps this is useful precedence in a professional setting, it serves as a barrier to us outside of such settings. Our ideas are not offensive. There are ways to unlearn this hesitancy. Take advantage of civil debate, engage with everyone you can, and be honest. Try new things, take on leadership, and learn how to be loud. Do not be discouraged by all that you do not know. Make mistakes without drawing back. I'll be clear, I do not believe the youth movement should stand alone. Our voices should work in a coalition with the diversity of voices needed in this movement. This movement needs BIPOC voices, we need the voices of women, we need queer voices, we need the voices of disabled people, and the voices of every single generation. We need all the voices we can to speak up.
Woo!
So I urge you, my fellow youth, to use your voice, to challenge traditional manners and tell everyone what you think. If we are going to save a planet, we need to trust in our movement and in ourselves. Thank you.
Woo!
There we go. So, there's an Edward Abbey quote. I should take this off. How did I forget that? There's an Edward Abbey quote that we use as the driving one for the Avance Climate Action Club, and it's "Action is the antidote to despair." And when I founded ACAC, which is what we call it, last year, I did not expect that we would be in this place today, and this is wonderful.
Woo!
I really want to thank Elsie from my club for bringing this up to us and doing so much hard work on it. So thank you.
Woo!
And thank all of you. My name is Emily Skelton. I should have mentioned that, and I'm the founder of ACAC. When I sat down to write the speech that I was going to give to you guys today, I was struck by a couple of interesting facts. One was the sheer volume of words that I wrote last year about climate change, because a lot of what we did on Zoom was just writing, because we couldn't be out here doing this in the middle of COVID. And the other thing was that I was really, really angry at that time. And going back and reading those words, it's kind of amazing to see my anger. Many of them were filled with a lot of rants about politics, politicians, poverty, the economy, the pandemic, human rights, and how the issue of climate change is just another little part in a massive spider web of world issues, and how everything connects to everything else, and if you want to fully solve one, you have to work on them all. And that's what a lot of those words were, and they were sad and angry and passive aggressive. But I also noticed that I wrote a lot about hope and a lot about beauty and how the earth is a magical place. And so reading through those little pieces, I decided that enough people were going to stand up here and be angry and use calls to action. So I decided that I would talk about hope, because that's really important too. Everyone here is just as angry at the world as me right now, so I don't need to give you a list, because you already know why you should be angry about this. I thought instead I would leave you with a piece of hope and gratitude as well. Earth, as we know, is the most beautiful place in the universe, and I say as far as we know, because as humans we don't know any other place. Maybe someday we will, but maybe we never will. For now, Earth is all we have. It is unique, and it is beautiful, and it is vast, and it is impossibly, incredibly amazing. And I feel lucky that I get to live on it and enjoy all of that. But Earth is also small and delicate and very fragile, and it is a living thing that can be broken and that needs someone to take care of it. Earth has endless fields of farmland and tiny valleys, and the most giant mountains that reach so high into the sky that no one will ever know where they end. And it has rivers so wide that they should be lakes. It has a seemingly endless bounty of natural wonders that are just waiting to be explored. But I think a lot of people don't see that. They just see land to be drilled for oil, to be built upon, to be exploited for all kinds of terrible reasons. They see trees to be cut down and they'll never be replaced again. They just see water to be polluted and species to be exterminated. Their eyes are foggy and closed to the suffering that they cause and to the beauty of the place that they're injuring. We only have this one planet, but why do we treat it like we've still got 1 million left to go? Like, we can't do that. We don't get any second chances. So if we do, I fear the same thing will just happen. If we go to the moon or if we go to Mars, we're just gonna do the same thing because we're never gonna learn this lesson that we need to take care of our home. We can't not learn that lesson. I understand that one day Earth will die, this is a fact, but we shouldn't be speeding that up. We have a very long time left here. So many people just aren't taking care of their home. They're still so blind and they still have foggy eyes, but a lot of us are trying. And I see all of you, and thank you for coming, this is amazing. All of you are here to help make a difference, so thank you. Thank you for being here and for listening and for washing whatever fog you might have had in your eyes out. Thank you for keeping them open to see all of the good that happens here, but also recognizing all of the bad. You're so important to our future and to the future of our planet, so thank you. Thank you for being responsible and for taking notice of what's going on. Thank you for taking the first step towards the path of change to become a steward and a voice of this beautiful planet that we have here. For helping teach people what they can do to start making a difference. That's very important. Without people like you who can see the world for what it is, there would be no hope, and we need hope. Because we all know that revolutions are built on hope. However cheesy that sounds, it's true, so thank you for being here.
Woo! Woo!
Tides are rising, envelop me. The tides are rising, they have been for years. But still, they insist on plugging their ears. Salty black water keeps eating our land. Forest fires are getting out of hand. A new condo rises just to drown in 10 years. And still they won't listen to our fears. The tides are rising, why aren't we? The tides are rising, envelop me. The tides are rising, they have been for years. But still they insist on plugging their ears. Soon all that's left of us will be bone. Soon we'll have nowhere to call home. Soon there will be no castles to be king of. And we can't wait for them to solve it above. The tides are rising, why aren't we? The tides are rising, envelop me. The tides are rising, they have been for years. But still
younger, I just accepted it like everything else that I was told. But as I grew older, I started thinking that it shouldn't be like this. Some of my best memories as a kid were from staying at a summer camp or going backpacking with my family. But with wildfires in the summer, our air quality becomes really unreliable, and staying in an open air cabin is dangerous now. And with our old growth forests being logged much faster than they can grow, there might not be woods to backpack through. The idea that in the future, kids won't be able to experience this, and in some parts of the world they already can't, to me, that is unacceptable. With the realization that this isn't right, I started feeling like we needed to fix it. For a while, I turned toward our elected officials. I thought that somebody should be doing something about this. But now I know that I am someone, and if I want something to happen, then I need to make it happen.
Woo!